today we're going to tackle a pretty hard work rate question. Now, the thing to remember on all work rates is always use the framework, because whatever information they give you, regardless of how cleverly they try and disguise it in the question, will end up fitting into the framework. And just for being here today, I have a free training for you. Raise your GMAT score 50 points in 5 days. I take you through a series of strategies that aren't all that hard to learn, but they're incredibly powerful. And as you start to implement them, your score is going to go up, and it's going to go up a lot. That's yours. It's completely free. You can download it right there in the description. Okay, let's get on to that work rate problem. So the basic framework for any work rate question is rate times time equals work. Now here's the key thing. Regardless of how cleverly they try and word the problem or how hard they try and disguise the information in the problem, all of the information they give you will ultimately fit into this framework, rate times time equals work. As the questions get harder, they just disguise the information more and more cleverly. So what we're going to do in these examples is we're going to show you the classic ways they try and hide and disguise information from you and show you how it fits into the framework, so when you see it on the test, you're going to be ready. Now, there's also two other formulas that fall right out of the algebra here. If rate times time equals work, then that means that rate must equal work over time, and time must equal work over rate. Two other things are really important in work rate problems. The first is, in work rates, we add rates all the time, but we almost never add time. Also, if you're in a work rate problem and you're not real sure what's going on, always get everyone's rate. If you can get everyone's rate, you're in a pretty good position to be able to get the question right. Okay, example number 5. Printer A and B are used to print a 1,000-page document. It takes printer A 8 minutes longer to print 1,000 pages than printer B. Printer B prints 20 pages more per minute than A. What is B's rate per minute? Okay, again, don't know what any of that means, but we know that rate times time equals work. We know rate equals work over time, and we know time equals work over rate. And we also know that we have printer A and printer B working. All right, next step. On every GMAT question, our first step is always pick out what we've been asked to find and write it down. In this case, we need B's rate, but in the number of pages. Okay, so the first thing we do is we go through, figure out what information we're given, and we get it into the framework. And first thing we know is that we're dealing with a 1,000-page document. Okay, great. It takes printer A 8 minutes longer to print 1,000 pages than printer B. Okay, what does that mean? This is very much like the Vlad and Paulina example that we did. If it takes B, T minutes to print 1,000 pages, then it must take A T plus 8 minutes, because it takes A 8 minutes longer. Hey, we've got a work and a time. We can figure out rates. A's rate must be 1,000 over T plus 8 because it's work over time. B's rate must be 1,000 over T. Okay, great. What are we told? We're told that printer B prints 20% more pages per minute, so that's B's rate is 20% faster than A. Okay, what does that mean in math? Well, B's rate is 1,000 over T, and that must be 20% faster, or 1.2 times A's rate, which is 1,000 over T plus 8. Okay, we can simplify this a little bit. We don't need thousands on the top. Pretend that we multiplied everything through by 1 over 1,000, and that gives us 1 over T equals 1.2 over T plus 8. We do a little bit of algebra, and what we find is that T equals 40. Now we're in business. What is it that we're after? Are we being asked for T? We are not. We are being asked for B's rate in pages, but now that we have a number for T, we can figure that out because B's rate is 1,000 over T, or 1,000 over 40, or 25. Very nicely done. Remember to always use the framework. Remember, the framework is always twice as smart as you and me put together. Always write it down. That's your starting point. That's your true north. Now, the trick is always getting the information you're given in the question into the framework. But the information will always be there, and it will always fit into the framework. Just make sure to go step by step. All right, great job. And remember, always use the framework. It's twice as smart as you and me put together. Also, don't forget about your free training. Raise your GMAT score 50 points in 5 days. It's yours absolutely free. You can download it right in the description. Okay, great work. See you next time.